Honestly, I think she plans to do something rash. She might even attack the guards. Ugh. Never.
Honestly, why can't you newcomers just return to your own lands? Weren't you happier there?
Ah, another newcomer. Delightful. What exactly can I do for you? What keen ears you have. You heard us discussing a private matter from way over there? Impressive. Perhaps you can put that inquisitive nature to good use. A newcomer, much like you, is stirring up trouble here in Lillandril. A member of the Mages Guild murdered a Sapiarc, but now the murderer's friend is railing against the conviction. Loudly. Talk some sense into her, would you? She might listen to another guest. You'll find her outside the Fighters Guild.
There you are. The Right Master sent me to find you.
Stay strong, Emil. I'll get you out of this.
Secure the prisoner in the Fighters Guild. Off you go. Welcome to Lillandril. I do hope you won't follow this young docent's example and start hurling wild accusations about Sapiarc laws and customs. That would go poorly. For everyone. Who are you? Hand of Auriel, what has Queen Irene wrought? I am Cirode, Sapiarc Master of Psychocartography, the mapping of orbic thought forms and dream phenomena. I also find myself saddled with the role of cultural attaché. I interact with all manner of strange and uncultured individuals, but yes, I maintain relations between my order and the Mages Guild's new arrivals. A trying enterprise. Please, if only for my sake, keep your business here peaceable, all right?
You're a member of the Mages Guild, aren't you? Please, you have to help me. The Sapiarchs accused one of our compatriots, my best friend, of a murder he didn't commit. They won't even consider the possibility that he's innocent. Another Sapiarch named Haladon. Emil arrived at the gates of Lillandril, carrying Haladon's body, and confessed to the crime. But he seemed shocked, confused. I know Emil better than anyone. He's not capable of something like this. I swear it. He's a pacifist, for Mara's sake. The Sapiarch's investigation was a joke. They just took Emil at his word and handed down the sentence. Of course, the local guild magister rolled over like she always does. Coward. Please, I need your help. The Sapiarchs say Emil confessed to murdering Haladon, but he'd never murder anyone. He loved Haladon. I don't know if he's confused or disoriented, but I do know he wouldn't do it. Please, talk to Emil. Convince him to recant his confession. Emil and I are both members of the Mages Guild chapter here in Lillandril, and students of the guild's chief diplomat, Kalawende. As for our relationship, Emil is my dearest friend, has been since we were both in diapers. I don't know if he'll listen to anyone, but I don't have a choice. The Sapiarchs and Mages Guild consider the matter settled, and they've forbidden me from speaking to Emil further. No one has forbidden you to speak to him. You can still reach him. An order of high elf scholars and mages. They walk the halls of power here in Somerset, observing and advising. Of course, there's a thin line between advising and ruling by proxy. They're not over fond of us guild mages. They think we're reckless. To the Sapiarchs, stepping in puddles is reckless. Not folding your linens is reckless. By their standards, my 90-year-old grandmother is wild as a foal in springtime. No, the guild values new ideas, novel approaches, but it's far from reckless. He and Emil were very close. If you'd asked me before all this happened, I'd have wagered that one or the other was shopping for a ring of Mara. They had common interests, but more than that, they had common values. Gods, what a tragedy. Restoration magic, wards against disease and curses, that sort of thing. They'd been researching ways to prevent lycanthropy, vampirism, and other afflictions. You see, the Emil I know dedicated his life to healing people, not murdering them. Absolutely not. Emil's gentle as a lamb, and Haladon didn't have a conniving bone in his body. The tension between the guild and the Sapiarchs weighed on them a bit, but not so much that it would drive them apart. Like I said, Emil is innocent.
If you insist on involving yourself in some vain investigatory charade, I won't stop you, but tread carefully. The Sapiarchs have little tolerance for amateur detectives.
I don't have anything to say to you or anyone else. Please, go. Yes. She's wrong. What? No, no. They already did an investigation. I murdered Haladon. It was me. Why are you inserting yourself into matters that don't concern you? I murdered a Sapiarch. I accept responsibility and my punishment. Go away. I don't want your help.
You there! Why are you interrogating Emil? I am Kalawende, Chief Diplomat of the Mages Guild. I apologize for my tone. This has been a trying time. The Sapiarchs consider this matter closed, you know. What are you doing exactly? Who sent you? Our interests may align. Vivine, look. I've uncovered something odd as well. The Sapiarchs have made it very difficult for me to intervene directly. Perhaps you can help. Emil met a shady merchant named Galador prior to the murder. That's very out of character for him. That's what I came here to find out. But it seems Emil doesn't want to talk. Galador has deep connections to Lillandril smugglers and thieves. If you learn what Emil purchased from Galador, we might gain some insight into Haladon's murder. Galador stores his business ledger in one of the inn's larger suites. Unfortunately, he placed a hex on the book, making it impossible to read without a passphrase. If you discover the passphrase, you should be able to learn what Emil purchased. My contacts tell me that Galador left the city on business. Goodness knows what time. No one will accost you while you investigate. Just be careful. It cannot become known the Mages Guild is investigating this matter after the Sapiarchs forbid it. She is tenacious. She often volunteers to help others. You won't find a more zealous advocate for the Mages Guild's goals and mission. In truth, I've never had a greater pupil, aside from Emil, of course. In my experience, people use talent as an excuse for idleness and lack of effort. Emil and Vivine both enjoy great natural ability, but Emil's focus on restoration magic indicates purer motives. He also works harder than anyone I know. Truthfully, I'd love to, but as a diplomat, I don't have that luxury. The Sapiarchs consider the matter settled, and officially our Mages Guild has accepted their ruling. I have a duty to preserve our relations with the Sapiarchs. It has exacerbated tensions that already exist. The Sapiarchs see this murder as evidence of our negligence. Members of the Guild resent it, so we're caught in something of a downward spiral. Yes. The guard who found Emil, Miliron, the Sapiarchs classified him as a Ryazen, a critical witness. Anyone with close ties to Emil is forbidden to speak with him, but not you. I'll find out where they've hidden Miliron. You look into Galador.
sound about an overgrown weed. I mean to forebode, but this little ode is a lesson you best heed. Now a story unfolds upon a pitiful mold. 'Twas made to thrive on wrath. His unsightly stab was a trickster's last laugh, long after his battle was fought. The sundering, if you were wondering, when the heavens dropped out of the sky, they hit with a thud and gave birth to the mud, making up this mortal sty. 'Twas a hell of a mess, but I digress. My story's about the swine. What brute in this land, where seeds called man, that sprung up like fungus and dry.
Psst, over here. I trust you were successful. My own inquiries were fruitful. I've learned where we must go next in this investigation. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Did you manage to break Galador's wards? What did you find? Honestly? What would Emil want with sheep's blood? And syringes? I'd suspect blood magic or chemical addiction if I didn't know Emil. Neither of those items are illegal. He must have bought them from Galador to keep the purchase a secret. I'll try to figure out what Emil wanted with these items. Meanwhile, I found the guard who arrested Emil, Millerond. I'm forbidden to speak to him, but you are not. The Sapiarcs moved Millerond to Lillandril's docks. Find out what he knows.
Welcome to Lillandril. Just off the boat. Lots of sailors coming and going. Just don't forget to submit your shipping manifests to the harbor master. Unless there's something else you need. Sad business, that. I was at my post when I saw Emil with a body slung over his shoulder. Once he reached the gate, he slid Haladan's corpse onto the ground and collapsed. He just knelt there sobbing, saying, "I killed him over and over." He didn't seem mad, if that's what you're asking, but he wasn't lucid either. When it comes to murderers, I've met more than my fair share, so you can trust me when I say Emil's no murderer. He might have killed Haladan, but it wasn't on purpose. Look, you need to promise me you'll keep this to yourself. Saltbreeze Cave is just south of here. Well-worn entrance, wizard's tools scattered about. I tried to tell the Sapiarcs about it, but your answers are in that cave. Guaranteed. That's the other thing. Haladan looked like he'd been thrown off a cliff. Legs broken, blood leaking out of his ears, collapsed ribcage. You tell me how a wiry Breton could do that to someone. Doesn't make a whit of sense. Unless he can conjure up a stone club the size of an ox yoke, I just can't imagine it. I'll tell you to examine the body yourself, but the Sapiarcs already burned it. Convenient. This business with Emil was just too odd. Once the Sapiarcs convicted him, I had to find the truth of it. I took my coursing hound, Othelus, down to the gate and had him follow Haladan's blood trail. It led right to the mouth of that cave. No, Saltbreeze has a sour reputation. It used to be a popular haunt for the city youth to drink, sing, fornicate, that sort of thing. Then we lost a pair of lovebirds in a salamander attack. It's been abandoned ever since. At least we thought so. Of course they did. They'd already declared Emil guilty of the murder. Can't lose face over something like this. You got a confession, Millerond, just let it go. Humph. They're just anxious to be done with this whole affair.
Who's there? Please don't hurt me. I mean you no harm. Emil, is that you? Where is Haladan? Is he all right? Auriel, forgive me. Please listen carefully. Emil did not murder Haladan. I swear it. The two of them only sought to help me. I suffered from a mysterious affliction. Haladan and Emil infected me with vampirism to halt the disease's progress. Gods, no! I came here with my companion Gerwadel. By the time we arrived, her illness was terminal. Emil tried to administer the cure to her too, but she broke free and attacked Haladan. There was so much shouting. I thought maybe they escaped. Stone abominations. Vampiric alchemy. If the Sapiarcs found out that Haladan had a hand in this tragedy, they would strike his name from the histories. Emil would never let that happen. Read Haladan's notes, you'll see the truth of it. Absolutely. Haladan and Emil loved each other deeply. It was obvious from the moment I arrived. Emil would never let something he did jeopardize Haladan's reputation. Were their roles reversed, Haladan would do the same thing. Guaranteed. I don't think you understand the Sapiarcs. It wouldn't be a simple matter of not praying over Haladan's grave. They would expunge his memory entirely. Every discovery he made, every scholarly paper, everything. It would be like he never existed. Undoubtedly. The Sapiarcs would probably dispatch a few vampire hunters to find me. But don't worry about that. I'll find a way to take care of myself. They called it osteocrotic fever, a rare virus that hardens the skin like stone and oyster shell. And as if that weren't bad enough, it also drives you insane. Gerwadel had already succumbed to the madness when she attacked Haladan. We were part of a merchant fleet that got blown off course, wound up beached on an island full of slowed mischief. Something in the air there, or perhaps the water. All of us were infected. So far as I know, I'm the only one that survived. Truthfully, because he was the kindest, most generous mayor I've ever known. We were childhood friends, you see. When I wrote to him about my condition, he didn't even hesitate. He just bid me come to Lillandril, no questions asked. I believe so. The fog is gone. The flop sweats and sleepless nights with dreams of blood and stone. But the cost was high. Too high. Poor Haladan. And now there's the hunger. Yes, I can feel it creeping up the back of my throat. That thirst. It was just a tickle at first. Now, who knows how far it will go? Emil brewed this form of the virus alchemically. Maybe this will pass and I won't need to feed it all. I can hope. Never. Enough people have suffered on my account. Anyway, how would I find them? The shale skin disease claimed my sight before Emil had the chance to administer the treatment. I will find a way to survive without harming others. You have my word. My new condition does have a few benefits. My senses are keener now than they've ever been. I can hear the flutter of a moth's wings and smell lichens in the next room. It's enough. It will have to be enough. to Lillandril, prove Emil's innocence. I'll find my way. Somehow.
You're back. Did you find any evidence that might exonerate Emil? You must have found something.
What did Guard Milleron have to say? Were you able to discover anything that might shed light on Haladan's murder?
You again? I told you, I don't want to talk about this. I'm guilty. What? No. No, you're mistaken. No. You can't believe her. She's lying. I attacked Haladan. I killed him. You're making this up. No one will believe it. No. Please, you must burn those notes. If the Sapiarchs learn what Haladan and I did, he'll be ruined. Disgraced. All his work will be for nothing. And Norasea. Mara, save me. Poor Norasea. They'll kill her. Please, you must keep this a secret.
Poor Emil. He meant well. But these are shocking revelations. I never thought he'd be so reckless. Creating a potion to deliberately infect someone with vampirism? By the eight. If this gets out, the Sapiarchs may never trust us again. I care for Emil, but I have a whole guild to consider. We've brought many outsiders to Somerset, and our relations here are tenuous at best. Even if Emil didn't murder Haladan, creating a potion this hazardous is still grounds for exile. I spoke to Sapiarch Cirode. If Emil makes a full confession, the Sapiarchs will let us handle the details of his imprisonment. I've arranged for Emil to return to Stormhaven. A familiar setting, sympathetic guards. It's the best I can do. No, but then there are many forms of freedom. Wouldn't you agree? Emil will have access to our vast library and ample opportunity to write and publish. He can still play a vital role in the advancement of the arcane arts. You have my word.
By Magnus, if what you say is true, Emil's innocent. You seem hesitant. Don't get bogged down in the details of his experiments. The important thing is that he didn't murder Haladan. You have to take this to the Sapiarchs. She's a vampire. I grew up in Shornhelm, and I know how dangerous they are. They drink people's blood for Mara's sake. Look, I pity Norasea, but we can't destroy Emil's life over one bad decision. Setting a vampire free is reckless. You know that. Haladan's dead, and if he truly loved Emil, he would gladly suffer humiliation to keep his beloved out of prison. You know that. As for the guild endures. We'll be fine. Just do the right thing.
There's nothing to consider. Even if I didn't kill Haladan, the vampirism was my idea. He never would have agreed to it if I hadn't pushed him. Haladon meant more to me than you'll ever know. His memory is all I have left. Don't ruin it. Please. Curse you! Do you think I want freedom? I want Norasea to be safe. I want Haladon to be remembered. I want his sacrifice to mean something. How can you take that away from me? I need to sit down.
You're doing the right thing. Emil will blame you for this, but I hope you'll forgive him. He suffered an unimaginable trauma. He's not in his right mind. He'll recover, I know it. I'll be there for him. Kalawende too. We'll get through this.
I know this wasn't easy. While I disagree with your decision, I understand why you made it. I only hope Emil and the Sapiarchs can look past this sordid affair. At least Emil will go free. I hope he can make peace with that.
Don't talk to me. Just don't. You had no right to insert yourself into this affair. No right to slander my beloved and undo all we struggled and sacrificed to accomplish. I will never forgive you for this. Never. Now go.
You have new evidence to present? Very well. I trust your investigation was thorough and unbiased? Or rather, as thorough and unbiased as an itinerant newcomer can manage. What new evidence do you wish to enter into the official record? This handwriting... Yes, I'd recognize Haladon's penmanship anywhere. Sirabani's ring! How could he be so foolish? Brewing up alchemical vampirism? Experimenting in secret? I cannot believe one of our own could be so reckless. Had he only spoken to us? Do you see now? The bitter fruits of heedless magic? This is what happens when you turn away from tradition. Regardless, it appears you were right. Emil did not kill Haladon. I will nullify his conviction. Emil is free to leave our island, permanently. The Sapiarchs and the Mages Guild clearly have a long way to go before we can rely upon each other. As for you, I must confess I find your diligence commendable. Take this, and my apologies. I will sign Emil's release papers immediately, but I will also insist on his exile from Somerset. The Mages Guild can decide what they want to do to him once he leaves. The Sapiarchs will have nothing more to do with this amateurish farce. We will scrub it clean. The Sapiarchs cannot allow the works of a heedless fool to sully our shelves. Haladon knew the costs of embarrassing our order when he joined. Those who shame us, living or dead, must suffer the consequences of their actions. We will hunt her down and destroy her. This brings me no pleasure, I assure you. But we cannot allow an alchemically bred vampire to roam our lands unchecked. You may disagree, but the fault lies with Emil and Haladon, not the Sapiarchs.